Hey there, this is Ace Guillen, and you're watching Cover Stories. We got an awesome crew with us today. We're pulling full steam ahead, so let's meet our crew. He once told a joke so funny that he tells that joke at every single show he does. He's comedian Matt Balaker. He just got back from the sperm bank, and boy, are his arms tired. He's comedian Chris Simpson. She's so addicted to coffee, she once killed someone, but the charges were dropped because her lawyers pleaded temporary decaffeinated. She's my co-host and comedian, Melissa Greenberg. You have the right to remain silent. A Florida man was arrested after a meltdown due to the deli that was making his sandwich ran out of lettuce. The angry man went into a fit of rage and police showed up and tossed him in jail. So I want to go to you first, Melissa, on this one. Something tells me this would happen to you if you went to a Starbucks and they were out of coffee.
Oh, this is not the same thing at all. Coffee and lettuce. It was probably iceberg too. And Florida. Really? Does Florida ever disappoint?
Right.
No. Thank you, Florida, for the material. No.
I say that though about Starbucks and the coffee thing because I was twice this happened to me. I once at El Pollo Loco and once at Kentucky Fried Chicken. They ran out of chicken, and I'm like, yeah. So, stupidest thing ever. Chris, what kind of savage actually eats lettuce? Do you even have a description of one?
Honestly, I'll grub on it a little bit sometimes, but I'm fat, so if I'm short a French fry, I'll throw a conniption shit. You know what I mean?
It's funny. I'm looking at this, and Matt, before I go to you on this one, I'm looking at this article, right? And the first thing I think of is like, because Melissa nailed it with the Florida man stories, and I found a very similar vibe of pretty much every time you see a Florida man story, it's always kind of this.
Isn't that sad? Yes! Don't we just hate that? Yes! Don't we wish they would just die? Yes!
Yeah, so basically, in a nutshell, is that how you feel about every Florida man story?
I do. Who are you asking?
You, yeah. This is more of a lightning round intro, so yeah.
Okay. I think it's the maturation of Florida man. Like last year, this guy who had an "I eat ass" decal on the back of his truck became like a First Amendment hero. And now this guy's encouraging us to have more fiber in our diet. I kind of miss the days of Florida men teaching us how to get high on bug spray. So I want a little bit of a reversion here.
Yeah, no, this is I still had the Adam Sandler playing here. It's weird to me though, because every time I see these types of stories, I look at them and they're like it never gets old because it's these stories and then it's the stories of like McDonald's, like when they ran out of chicken nuggets or something like that. And I'm always like, I always want video. There's never video. That's the thing that drives me crazy of these stories. Anybody else got a take on this before we move on to the second story? Nothing. I don't eat lettuce. Like I literally don't eat lettuce, even in a salad. I usually order a salad with no lettuce. And
but there's other things like you can chop up and put in. I'm sorry, we don't have lettuce, but like I don't know, they could sneak in some kale. I mean, I hate kale, but I don't think that the lettuce is why you're buying the sandwich in the first place.
Well, lettuce is always the thing that is food poisoning. Have you ever noticed that? Like that's always the thing that no matter where you go, it's always exactly. I Like, yeah, I used to do a bit about that, about how people go to the grocery store, buy a bag of salad, take the salad home, they pour their fat-free dressing, they're all happy, they're eating it like a rabbit in the garden, go to bed dreaming of fitness, wake up the next morning, they're puking over the side of the bed, double fisting bottles of Pepto-Bismol, and they're sitting there turning on the news, and today's top story, salad recall due to a salmonella outbreak. But you never hear that with a box of donuts. There's always a fat guy across town eating a box of donuts. Like, glad I don't eat salad. And then, yeah, they move. Because, yeah, so.
No one gets E. coli from a bear claw.
Right, exactly. You never hear a recall on a ding dong, a ho ho, a cupcake, a Twinkie. Is it? Yeah. So,
That's why.
they're too sweet to go bad. That's what's happening here. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to number 2. Yeah. Mary, Mary on the wall, who's the luckiest of them all? A family recently discovered that a mirror hanging above their Antoinette actually belonged to none other than Marie Antoinette. And the mystical mirror had been a decorative piece for over 40 years when they decided to appraise it and found out its history. I love this story. I thought it was actually super cool because, you know, she's known for something like this. Let me show you guys. Yeah, you gotta love it, right? That's pretty much what she's famous for. Oh, here's a little trivia. Does anyone know her last words?
Ah!
Yeah, pretty much. She actually stepped on this is true. I looked this up. I found this out. She stepped on her executioner's foot and said something to the effect of, pardon me, that was an accident. And the dude still, like, talk about a chick that just didn't get it. So,
oops, my.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that was her famous last words. Oops, my bad. Which is pretty much. Yeah. So, Chris, I will go to you on this first. Is it true you once found a mirror belonging to, I don't know, Adolf Hitler? We'll just name off any historical figure in your closet. Yeah.
That's going to be nice for my fans. I'm just playing. I'd go find out how much it's worth and sell that shit. Hell yeah. Drive me a nice car. Hitler got this for me.
Yeah, right? I was going to say, there is a weird thing about, I don't even know where Hitler came from. I was trying to think of a historical figure.
You go Hitler? Really?
Yeah, I know. That was the first one. I think I'm seeing too much of it. It's being planted in my brain. Everything I see on TV is Hitler stuff. So, like, but yeah, you're right. There is something funny about that where it's just like, yeah, you know, like, hey, like I just bought a new house. Oh, where'd you get the money for it? Hitler gave it to me. Like, that would be really odd. That would be the weirdest thing.
They'd frame around my car, my brand new car. Hitler got this for me. Fuck all you guys.
And yeah. I'm sorry. I was just gonna make a Volkswagen joke, but yeah, it was getting. No. I was already draining that well dry. What's your take on Marie Antoinette?
Who are you asking?
Yeah,
Chris. Oh, yeah. No.
You were a Volkswagen joke?
No, I was just waiting for your take.
My new oven. That's what I would buy.
Okay, no more of the East German jokes. We're getting off of this stuff. Melissa, I'm not even going to transition to you yet. I'm going to go straight to Matt.
Keep going.
Ace, I can't. I mean, 14
okay,
grand.
Hold up. Wait, Matt. Okay, let's just change this up a little bit. What if you found out that your throw rug in your living room belonged to Osama bin Laden? Then we're. I
did.
Did it? No. Sorry. Yes, you were saying about the Marie Antoinette mirror.
No, back to Osama bin Laden. I mean, but if she's the poster child for aristocratic excess. I think it should be worth more than a 2011 Volkswagen Passat. Like 14 grand. That's not very much. I mean, her dresses in like the 1774 or whenever were worth more than that. So I would expect a better return on investment, Ace. That's my take on this.
I concur.
Maybe she didn't look at it very much.
It's worth more the higher view count she has.
Maybe she was eating a lot of cake and she didn't want to look into a mirror.
She might have been.
Yeah.
Also, she was 14 when she got married.
Yeah. Melissa?
Why do you know that?
Isn't it popular knowledge, though, that she was a young teen? I thought she was, to be honest, I thought she was 16, but... but yeah.
No, I didn't know they did. What is this going around?
Yeah, I know, right?
Sick on Zoom.
It's a virus. Okay, so yeah, no, there you go. It's upside down.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So, Melissa, do you think your mirror is going to be worth 14 grand someday?
No. Well, I rent, so maybe. Like maybe it'll be worth that to the people who own the house. Which is sort of typical for my life. I make other people money. So yeah, right. It's a gift I'm going to give somebody.
You just reminded me.
Some cocaine onto the mirror, the price goes up, Melissa. Learn.
You just reminded me something when you said about renting and stuff, and then we're on the subject of a mirror. I used to live in Colton, right? Just bad neighborhood, and I remember the day we were moving out. I went to go get stuff out of the closet, and there was a mirror that was placed up. Well, the mirror kind of came off a little bit off the rail, the sliding glass door thing. And when I looked, I noticed there was writing behind the mirror. And, yeah, creepy, right? And I went to like pull on it, and I was reading it, and the writing literally read, "The greatest man on earth once lived here," or something. And I was just all like, freaky, like, you know what I mean? You're living in an apartment and somebody wrote behind a mirror like a cryptic message like that, and you're like, and then you get really like egotistic and go, do you think they meant me? Yeah, so okay.
I thought you were going to say Marie Antoinette, on the back.
Yeah.
Oh, now you remember. Sacre bleu.
Yeah, it's my only real experience with that though is I was at a drag show one time, just watching a drag show, and there was a black drag queen who came out and stripped under the name Marie Antoinette. And I thought that was adorable. So we're going to move on to story number 3. Space. What my bank account has much too of. That's right. William Shatner revealed recently that he makes no bones from the original series when it comes to residuals. Poor guy. And that kind of blew my Vulcan mind when I read this story. So let's see here. I'm going to do a little slideshow for us here because this is terrible. This is like when I saw this story, it kind of broke my heart that such a beloved character would have to resort to making Priceline commercials, basically. So, you know what? Melissa, this is probably one of the coolest shows ever made. Period. And the fact that this guy
You're not going to explain Star Trek to me, are you?
I kind of want to, but I won't. I'll spare you. So, because I know you're not familiar with it.
It's got Ewoks in it, right?
Yeah.
Like, fingers on a blackboard to like all the little nerd people. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. One of my favorite things though was. The whole story was about how pretty much just the original series though. I mean, he still makes a killing on the films and stuff, which did far better, by the way. But when I was reading this, I was thinking, yeah, but the guy got laid a lot. So I think he did kind of get residuals from the original series Star Trek. And if you, I mean, look at him really quick, Melissa. Again, look at him. Was he not just a beautiful man? Let's see. Look at him. The guy was kind of a stud muffin. Like for that time period, you didn't really see too much of it. Like, you know, he was kind of the Brad Pittish guy of the black and white sci-fi generation. So, yeah,
Leonard Nimoy was Jewish.
Leonard Nimoy was cool as hell. So he could be whatever he wanted to be. He's got my yeah. So yes, what's your take on Jews in Spurs? Okay, so
see,
yes,
I like this.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Copyright.
Matt, do you care to chime in?
I do care. I'm excited that this happened at 1966 to 69. That was the peak of the sexual revolution, Ace. And NBC had the balls to release a show about Vulcans and sci-fi nerds while like hippies are out passing around LSD and gonorrhea. So give it up for the network for being visionaries. I tip my cap to them.
I concur. You know, it's interesting too. A little fun fact about Star Trek, Melissa, you may like this. The actress who plays Uhura, I'm blanking out on her name right now. You know why she is on that show? She was on it originally, and they were breaking barriers because it was like a black actress who had lines back then. It was like unheard of. She wanted to leave the show after like the first season. And do you know who talked her into staying?
No.
Martin Luther King Jr. Like literally she stayed on that show because he told her that she was an inspiration, that he was a fan of the show, and that she was an inspiration to all black people, that she was on the show and she was in the future. And they never acknowledged her ethnicity or anything, the color of her skin. And he talked about how beautiful that situation was. And I was like, that's the coolest, like, you know what I mean? So, that was a fun fact for Melissa.
Didn't she make out with Captain Kirk? Like for real? Like I think she and William Shatner had a smoochy scene.
I'm pretty sure even Chris.
I think you just dreamed that, you weirdo.
I did too, but yeah.
No, I was gonna bring up Chris Pine for the reboot about them making out. No, but no, I'm pretty sure even George Takei made out with him. Like who didn't on that set? You know what I mean? Chris, I don't know. Would you make out with?
Well, I'm gonna say I remember when the show was out, there was toys out. I'm so surprised he never made any money off none of that. There was toys.
Oh yeah,
there was guns, there was toys, there was a lot of merchandise.
He had to make money off of that.
Yeah, I mean it just I don't know, man. I can tell you right now, the movie's Wrath of Khan is the best.
Oh, yes. Oops. Yes, sorry. No, dude, like I was a huge fan, and I still remember. I'm dating myself here. I still remember going to the theaters and seeing I always refer to it as the whale one, where they save the whales. That was embarrassing. It was almost like when Superman came back with a beard, and you just went. Yeah. So I'm not buying the whole thing that I mean I get that he didn't make a nickel off of the original series reruns, but I mean, come on. That guy did well everywhere else. So yes, huh?
He had some perks.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. So that's enough of that story. Let's go on.
You know they did it in costume with all those weird ridged heads and everything, like, you know, space sex and stuff.
One can only hope. Dude, you know, I mean,
remember the fight scenes?
Yeah. Gosh, I swear though, every nerd on the planet, I'm one of them, fantasizes about the sexing character. Like, so pretty much, you know, if you're on that show, I think it's weird if you like got out of character and you hooked up. Like we're talking about Uhura and Kirk making out. I think it would have been weird if they would have just did it as themselves. Like they should have just totally, you know, did the whole thing, and oh man, I was just gonna go off on some sex jokes. I think I'm gonna pass.
What's
on
the
that.
next story, Ace?
Yeah, right. Believe it or not, it's almost a family show. Okay.
In the sky, it's a herd, it's a train, it's a herd catching a train. Placed at the end of a train track became an even more decorative piece when they literally caught a runaway train in midair. This local motif is inspired by a whale of a tale.
So, I'm looking at this picture here, and for this one is obviously a giant whale sculpture caught a runaway train, and I thought it was the coolest thing, because if you look at these images here, it was like perfect placement, perfect stuff. But then I found out that actually sea animals have a thing for trains, and what I mean by that is take a look at this.
Boy, what a man.
Yeah, I have no idea what that was all about. But yeah, and other than that, I actually found out that a whale catching a train wasn't the only animal. It turns out there's footage of spiders catching a train. Yeah, you get it. Okay, so Chris, I'm gonna go to you first on this story.
You gotta go straight to the fact.
I was gonna work a really poor joke and just say, has your bus ever been caught by a sea animal?
It cost me like $50 though. It looks photoshopped to me. It looks like it's fake.
What?
Imagine that happened like that.
Look at this. Look at that.
Oh wow!
As if they planned it. You're saying like they put it was a whole. Yeah, they were just like, oh, we're gonna get. Yeah, we're gonna say
the train ends here. Okay, everybody out.
Right. Yeah. What? Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. Melissa, have you ever been on a whale catching train?
I have been on 25 years in New York City. I have been on all kinds of trains, and I have seen way worse than whales getting caught. Some nasty stuff. Yeah. Where was this? Do we know?
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
The well people do? Did they get off pissed off? Those well watching people thing.
Right? Yeah. Well, it was Star Trek. Going back to the whale one. Save the whales. Matt, do you have a take on this whole Pinocchio thing?
I think it's a vindication for Moby Dick.
There you go.
200 years of bad press, and now there's a whale that finally saved a captain. So it took a while, but whales are all right. And I'm also concerned the whale might have cock-blocked this guy's suicide attempt. That's the conspiracy theorist in me. It looks like there was no passengers on the train. He was heading for a demise, and now the fake whale saved him. So
yeah, you just reminded
a little fishy to me.
You just reminded me of the whole Dickie Mo thing. You remember that episode of Tom and Jerry?
For this sake, yes, I do. I remember. Can you tell me more about it?
It's literally this weird psychedelic episode where a captain, he's searching for Moby Dick, but they couldn't use the word Moby Dick, so they called it Dickie Mo. And so, like the whole episode of Tom and Jerry, Tom is chasing Jerry around on a boat, but there's a sea captain who just keeps walking around going, Dickie Mo, Dickie Mo, Dickie Mo. And it's like really... Like you could tell drugs went into that episode. I remember being a little kid and it freaked. Do you remember that one, Chris? You used to watch cartoons.
Yeah.
You remember that? It's like the most bizarre.
Not to be morbid, but you remember that guy that wanted to kill himself over here in Cali a few years ago? So he parked his truck on the metro line, and it ended up hitting him. He lived, and they killed 20 people on the train.
Oh shit! No, I didn't remember. I thought you were going to tell me something. I thought you were going to tell me something funny, like he sat in the metro line, but then the train was on the wrong track, so it missed him. and then he moved his car, and then the train came on the opposite track and missed him again. And people and 20 people died laughing. Yeah. So.
Don't take public transportation. That's the rule.
That's the moral of the story. It really kind of is, because you don't really hear too much about. I don't know. I should have looked it up more. I should have did some more research. I'm sure out there somewhere there's a weird because I had seen cars that hopped a medium somewhere and then landed in a house. They're stuck on a roof of a house and stuff. So that but.
About that one a couple months ago.
Which one?
The guy hopped out of the car and landed on the sign on the freeway.
I didn't see that. No.
You don't remember that?
No, I didn't see
that.
Last year, he was around the 5 freeway and he got in a wreck and flew out of the car and landed on the streets on the sign, the off-ramp sign.
Wow.
Look it up, bro.
I will look at it. I was a little bit distracted by Matt's. That was actually kind of cool. I couldn't tell if you were at a peep show or what was going on right now. It just went
I am, and I found a few extra quarters, so the blinds moved up.
That's interesting. You know how much they cost.
I do.
As New York in the 70s, it was everything was 25 cents, and then right when she was getting to the best part, the blinds came back down.
Screwed it up.
Yeah. He ruined it. Now the freaking peep show is now on AMC. Good news is they might be coming back. So
now they're on Zoom.
Now they're on Zoom. Yes, for 25 cents a minute. I know. I'm starting to think I'm in the wrong business. I don't have the body to take off my clothes, but then again, there seems to be a market for everything. I don't know.
It's about confidence, bro. I do it on Saturdays. They call me Waffles.
They call you Waffle? You know what you should do is if they call you Waffle, you should let a woman grab you while you're on stage, and every time she grabs you, your catchphrase should be "Lego my ego," and then just. How about?
There's women who get paid to eat pie, like the actual pie.
The actual okay. I was gonna say. I was like, no.
No, say it.
Like, what's the strange thing about this? Yes. What would your fans only name be, Melissa?
Oh, I told you. I've talked about this with Ace. I'd have, the apathy channel, like for the full wife experience, and you log in and it's just 2 minutes of me laying there going, oh, fine, I just sat down, they get a pile of laundry, and just halfway through it, I'd be like. Oh, my mom's coming on Thursday, right? Did you take out the trash? Just really random stuff.
Someone logs.
Are you done yet?
Someone logs on to the wrong account and just says, "Well, I was here for an argument." Oh, I'm sorry, this is abuse. And then they move in. They redirect her to Melissa's. Matt, do you have a stage name that you would prefer going by?
Maddie Ball Game.
Maddie Ball Game.
Because I think it lends itself to lots of tips, and if I ever become a professional athlete, there's that angle too. But I like the pie eating angle, Melissa. I think that'd be cool. I like Apple. How'd you learn about that, Melissa? I'm very curious.
Some random story we were researching, and some woman, people log it, she's making a lot of money. This has been going on for a few years, where her fans. Or they send her the pies, or they bake the pies for her, but she eats apple. She's really fat, and she eats blueberry and apple. I mean, she's probably dead now, but yeah, or she sits on them. There's a whole cake thing that don't Google that.
There's so much to learn.
Don't look up cake farts.
Cake farts, too late.
Yeah, don't. Really don't.
So do we put that up there with don't look up meat spin, stuff like that?
Yeah, and cake farts. Mm-mm. No.
By the way, I told you it was brought to you by Purple Stuff today. So yeah, my color, my drinks change colors every week, unintentionally, by the way. But today I did plan purple. So okay, so I think this was a pretty tight little episode today. So I want to thank my guests again, Matt, Chris, and Melissa Greenberg. My name's Ace, and this has been Cover Stories.